All right, man, here it is. What do you think? It's looking pretty cool. Can you see that? All the independent underneath. A-arms. Ooh, dog. Got the sheet metal done on the bed. Toolboxes are going to go here in the front. 26s. Radius the bed. So it's kind of roundish and it kind of matches the cab, I think. Already got the doors all cut and gapped out all the way around. Rough body work, of course. I got one tire in the rear. It gets duals, and I'm still screwing with the leaf springs. My buddy's got an off-road shop, and he builds me my leaf springs, and we kind of just been guessing, like, you know, ride the weight and blah blah blah. So this is our second attempt. We got it pretty close, but radius the back. I think it looks pretty cool. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this monster from back here. So I got a 1-inch by 4-inch piece of metal that goes all the way around here for a border, and then in the middle I'm going to do all wood. I'm going to make like a custom wood bed. So yeah, let me see if I can get some. I got so much shit in here, just hard to get the whole thing in. Made the bead rolled the back, just kind of a cool little design, less is more type of thing. Bead rolled the wheel well molding, I guess you would call it, and welded everything into the bed, because this is all going to be painted one piece, you know, so it's going to make it look, you know, this is the work box that came on it. It was just an old farm truck, and then I did 14 gauge and rolled the 14 gauge and cut for the boxes and made all the inner structure. So see if we can get the picture in here. Yeah, with those big old tires and wheels, I couldn't slam it down as much as I wanted, but I don't think it looks totally out of proportion, just because of the ride height with the tires and the wheels. I don't think it looks too ridiculous. I do want to bring the rear down on this side for sure. It's kind of like cattywampus right now, so I'm not really sure what's going on in total with the leaf springs. We gotta take more out this side and add the other side, so that's a whole nother conversation. So yeah, and then the interior, oh god, shoot me now. So I did the bear claw latch. This is my little tool adjusting guide here. The bear claw latch assembly, so it's like a full latch instead of the old school kind of tumblers, and I welded it into the door. And then this is this latch on this side. The upholstery, which is dirty. Oh god, I didn't want to get the upholstery done before paint, obviously, but I just was kind of working with some timelines with my suppliers, and this is the time that they had, so kind of like pretty cool. So I got Dakota digital gauges, I got Apple CarPlay, all the cool guy stuff, really cool kick panels that he made. He's got door panels made. I got those off, obviously. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool, pretty modern for what it is. So I still got a ton of stuff to do, but this is kind of as complete as I've had it so far. But the shitty part is I got to rip the whole thing apart tonight, pull the cab, front clip, pull the cab, pull the motor, pull the tranny, put the little steel wheels on it just to move it around, and then the frame and bed is going to sandblast tomorrow. So then I can get it all epoxied, and then I'm going to do like a semi-gloss satin black on it. So anyways, this is the quickest update. Not the quickest. This is a shitty update. This is the most complete the truck has been, and I want to do a quick video fuck. It's like 11 o'clock here at night, man. Right now I'm losing my mind. But anyways, here it is. Thanks for watching. All right, so check this thing out. Pretty dope. I got independent suspension, all boxed A-arms, everything. Crazy spindles in there. These things are monsters. Had these wheels custom cut. They're 26s. So I still have a couple things to do up front. Basically, this independent suspension was built for a square body, and because obviously this is a 52 Chevy cab over, they don't make huge crazy kits like this for these trucks. So what I did is I took the dimensions for the frame of a square body, welded it into this tube. These are all just booger welds just because it's just like tacked in here. And then, so instead of trying to build one side and match the other side, I welded the tube together, because you can see those are the welds that matter in there. Those are the ones that I do. And then, so the whole thing is one unit now. Cut the frame away on this chassis, sucked it up underneath it, and then now I have my independent suspension just floating kind of like roughly. So once I get like where it needs to be, I got to bring it up a little bit. I slammed it down too far. Then I'll weld it and make sure everything's all boxed and structural and all that good stuff. But for right now, looks pretty cool. Doing all the sheet metal on the bed, got everything kind of bent around. This is the only thing that I basically kept, is the work bed. Just the top is like a flat bed. So I radiused the corners, and then I wanted to do sheet metal because most people, when they do car haulers, they do just the bed, and it looks just kind of unfinished to me, like a flat bed, and you can see the frame and maybe put a box underneath it or something. So I wanted this to be a hot rod car hauler, but you could also just take it out for a hot rod. It doesn't have to be used as a car hauler, obviously, because it's got 26s and a 6.2 and a bunch of crazy stuff. So got the work boxes sunk in, made the skeleton behind it, so I'll do like a little collage afterwards of all the little pictures of everything. This is the wheel well that I'm making right now, and what I'm doing is I basically bead rolled it because I didn't want some stupid, you know, big fender well, because everything's so kind of like flush onto the side. But I did want a nice little transition to show the wheel well. And then what I'll probably do is this back panel back here, I'll do a little design in that as well. So I cut the bed, dovetailed it, and then in the rear, I radiused it also. So see, it's gonna look pretty cool, I think. This border right here, oh geez. So that's an inch thick by 4, I think. Oh, anyways, and so what I'm gonna do is this is gonna be the border for all around the bed, right? The whole perimeter. And then what that's gonna do is I'm gonna have an inch thick wood going on the bed. So this is gonna be a full custom wood bed floor. And from here down here and here, the sheet metal, that's all gonna be painted. I'm gonna weld it all in solid, and then it's all gonna be painted. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Got to figure out a couple of things still on it, you know, and just clean it up. It's an old farm truck, so trying to make this thing pretty rowdy. I only got one wheel in the back, but I do have dualies the same size, that size, going in the back. So there's another one that'll be on the inside. But I have to change the lug nuts right now because they're the studs are actually too short because the wheels are so thick. So I haven't had a chance to do that. So I'm only able to put one tire on right now. But yeah, let's see here. What else? Got the cab over here. Been going through so much sheet metal. This is like my little carnage area over here. Got the bead roller out. This is all the plate and for the wheel well. And then the cab, I cut it. I made it a 5 window, put a whole new top on it. I had my upholstery guy. This is the only time that would work for him to do the upholstery. So it really sucks sending a car down there just kind of rough body worked, but it is what it is. I got to just work around it. But I got the dash wrapped all dark material, the headliner super cool, and then I had him wrap the whole back. So this is all like a high-end vinyl, looks kind of like leather, just not as expensive. So, but yeah, I think it looks pretty cool, man. Got everything finished out. I have Apple CarPlay going in it and a bunch of other crazy stuff. So yeah, this is it. This is the little project here. And then these are all the parts over here. This is the screen for the Apple CarPlay, radio, navigation. And then this is the genius piece right here. I don't know if you guys ever seen one of these. This is a big drop down bracket. So see, I'm spinning it right here, and it's actually turning right there. So what I had to do, you can see this thing's pretty big. So to do an independent A-arm setup on a cab over, super complicated. I've never done one, so I'm figuring it out as I go. But the cab sits over top of it. So normally if it had like, you know, a power just like steering, and not independent A-arms, the gearbox would be way up front, and then the column has enough room to come down through the cab and then over to here. Well, the problem is the cab sits here and the gearbox is right there. So what I had to do is, by getting that drop down bracket, I figured out you can kind of flip it any which way possible that you want, and it still works. So let me grab it over here. And what I did is I have it coming out of the cab like that, and then it actually is going backwards. So however it gets mounted. So yeah, like that. Does that make sense? So now the steering, I was like, you know, fuck, how am I going to get the steering to go backwards get the independent A-arms to work on a cab over without punching the steering wheel through your legs through the middle of the floor, you know? So that was one challenge. But yeah, I did all the tubing underneath it, all this huge square tubing, cross bracing. So I still have to get everything cleaned up. Got the 6.2, got to get it cleaned up. 6L80 transmission. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool, man. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Hopefully it's going to powder coat here in the next maybe 2 weeks. So I got to finish all the welding, get all the sheet metal done. And then while this is done, getting powder coated, then I can pull the motor, tranny, get it all cleaned up, paint the cab, paint all the rest of the parts. So I think what's going to be really cool is all the wood that's going to be on the floor here. So to make it look like a really classy kind of hot rod, I'm going to actually incorporate some of the wood into the cab as well. So, but anyways, this is what's been going on with the truck. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. All right, so here's the COE, little progress. Got the inner outer roof skin for the 5 window. See, little port windows now. Got the doors on it. These hinges were pretty crazy. Let me show you on the other side. So, yeah, had to put all new hardware. Still have to rebuild this whole one in here. This is the actual hinge that I had to rebuild. They don't make COE hinges for the doors. So I had to adapt some other ones, cut these ones all up, cut my other ones up in order to make one set so I can get the doors back on it. But it's starting to look like a truck. Got the mockup 6.2 Ls3 in it with the 4L80. So making the motor mounts right now. So I put this bar in there to hold the ears, so when I pull the motor and weld it all the way out, it doesn't like squeeze in. And then the coolest part, all the hard stuff is just about done, but check this out. Those are my A-arms. Those are going to be pretty dope. Full independent suspension, 550 horse on a car hauler. And I got the tires and wheels ordered, 28s in the rear, 26s in the front. So it's going to be pretty cool, man. Oh, and one more thing. I don't think I showed you the inside. So I got the doors all gapped out, cut them all the way around. So nice and even gaps all the way around. I did the kick panels, bead rolled them, put them in. Did the floor, And then I did some weld-in nuts so the seat will just bolt right in. So I had to build the floor, had to build the firewall. I didn't have to gap the doors out right now, but I was there, so I did it. Turned it into a 5-window. So now, put the suspension in. Once I put the suspension in, then I could put the seat back in it, cut the hole through the firewall, do the steering, which is going to be a mother effer, and do the brakes. So because it's a cab over, it's literally you're sitting right on top of the steering. So that's going to be interesting. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, this is what it's looking like. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, it'll actually be, at least all the parts will be on it. I don't know how much further I'll be, but the parts will actually be on it. So.